We never thought we were going to say thank you to Anthony Weiner.
The FBI is reopening its investigation into Hillary Clinton's email scandal. The Wall Street Journal reports 650,000 emails are sitting on Anthony Weiner's laptop. Thousands of those may involve Clinton's server, since Weiner was married to Clinton's top aide when she was Secretary of State.
To cover up her crimes, she bleached and deleted 33,000 emails after receiving a congressional subpoena.
A computer used by former Congressman Anthony Weiner and his estranged wife, Huma Abedin, is now the focus of new inquiries into Hillary Clinton's use of a private email server. Sources have told the Wall Street Journal's Devlin Barrett that there could be as many as 650,000 emails on the computer, with underlying metadata suggesting that thousands of those messages could have been sent to or from the private server that Mrs. Clinton used while she was Secretary of State. Why is this one laptop now so significant?
Anthony Weiner's laptop were ever released, the government would fall. Weiner's laptop had kill switches in it.
It was seized from Weiner as part of an investigation into whether he sent sexually charged emails to a teenage minor. The laptop hadn't previously come up in the Clinton email probe.
Did he know that you were only 15 years old?
Yes, he did.
Her age was no deterrent for Carlos Danger. In an exclusive interview with Inside Edition, this minor says she first sent disgraced Queens Congressman Anthony Weiner a message on Twitter back in January 2016, when she was just 15 years old.
I just sent him a nice message, just, hello, I'm a huge fan.
She says she wanted to see if he was up to his old antics during last year's presidential election. Turned out he was.
I knew that it was going downhill and really fast.
She says the messages from the Democrat quickly turned obscene.
I was disgusted. That's part of the reason that I came forward.
At the time, Weiner's wife, Huma Abedin, was helping run Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign. The FBI's investigation of Weiner's laptop led to the discovery of a new batch of emails that Clinton had sent to Abedin. That led former FBI Director James Comey to reopen the investigation into Clinton's use of a private email server while Secretary of State, just days before the presidential election.
Inside Edition says it's withholding the girl's name because she's underage, but her father gave permission for her face to be shown. Weiner went on to plead guilty to a charge of transferring obscene material to a minor.
Just striking about this is that, announcement from James Comey in October of 2016, kind of saying that the investigation was being reopened here. Some people say that cost Hillary Clinton the election itself. But when we look at that incident and, now with all this other information we have, what jumps out to you about that?
That was Comey trying to cover Comey because they knew they hadn't done what they should have done with the Weiner laptop, and the New York Police Department officers who were honest were going to disclose all that. He just simply had to do it to try to save his own skin.
Because of Weinergate and the sexting scandal, the NYPD started investigating it. Through a subpoena, through a warrant, they searched his laptop and sure enough found those 650,000 emails. They found way more stuff than just the more information pertaining to the inappropriate sexting the guy was doing.
675,000 Clinton emails when they got Anthony Weiner's laptop in a search warrant because of all his sex perversion issues. It was all the Clinton emails, the Clinton Foundation, her Secretary of State emails, Huma Abedin's emails. Lots of people emailed Huma as a proxy for Hillary.
They found State Department emails. They found a lot of other really damning criminal information, including money laundering, including the fact that Hillary went to this sex island with convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein. Bill Clinton went there more than 20 times. Hillary Clinton went there at least 6 times. The amount of garbage that they found in these emails of criminal activity by Hillary, by her immediate circle, and even by other Democratic members of Congress was so disgusting. They gave it to the FBI, and they said, we're going to go public with this if you don't reopen the investigation, if you don't do the right thing with timely indictments.
We're not talking about 1 or 2 emails. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of emails.
NYPD was the first one to look at that laptop.
I heard that the New York police officers who saw some of it, even though they're hardened investigators, literally had to go throw up. It's bad.
Somebody sent it to me. I would not advise you to have a look at it. She and her spokeswoman, they put a 5-year-old girl naked on a table, bind it, and then with a scalpel they start to remove the face.
Oh my God.
And you hear this child screaming, and they take off the face, and Hillary Clinton puts it on her face and goes to the child. And you see, the child is all flesh, and then the eyes pour out, and this child sees her own face on the face of Clinton. I will never forget that image, and never the scream. That's how evil these people are.
Supposedly 9 cops watched the videos on Weiner's laptop. They had to keep leaving the room because they couldn't stand what they were seeing. And all 9 are now dead. And there's names and faces and deadness, right? They're real people. Now you can say, well, maybe they died for other reasons. I go, but it's still 9 cops.
There were a total of 12 individuals who saw Anthony Weiner's laptop computer. 9 of those 12 people are dead now.
Some sad news tonight. Another New York City police officer has taken his life. The second NYPD suicide in 2 days.
Well, Corey Tampson, with the latest suicide, the 8th this year, the 6th just the last 2 months alone.
Another New York Police Department officer has died by suicide, becoming the 9th to do so this year. According to a law enforcement official, the 56-year-old officer was off duty and at home. On Tuesday, another law enforcement official told CNN that an 8th officer had died by suicide. A 35-year-old
Robert Echeverria died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound at home last night. The 25-year veteran officer's suicide came a little more than 24 hours after a 35-year-old officer took his own life. Commissioner James O'Neill is still struggling with the news.
You think that, okay, this is going to be the last one, and last night I got a phone call, and it just almost knocked me down. It just took the wind right out of me. I just, what the hell's going on here?
So far this year, there have been 9 NYPD suicides, 7 since June. Last year, there were a total of 4.
We don't know why Nick did what he did.
Doug Budney's son Nick, a 14-year NYPD officer, took his own life last year.
I just think it was a bad last decision.
Another NYPD officer has just died by suicide. It's the 10th suicide so far this year. News 4's Gus Rosendale is live at the site of the shooting in Queens. Gus, what can you tell us?
Yes, Rena, that officer was pronounced dead at Queens General Hospital just a few minutes ago, and now a number of other officers are here trying to figure out exactly what happened. This is the scene at 178th and Union Turnpike in Utopia, Queens. Little known about who this officer was and the circumstances surrounding this. Again, we just know this was an off-duty officer with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. He was rushed to the hospital where he passed away just a short while ago. Now, leading up to this, as you mentioned, there have been 9 previous suicides by active members of the NYPD happening this year in 2019.
Now that is a strange coincidence. Anthony Weiner is alive. Weiner shared the laptop with his estranged wife, Huma Abedin, a close aide to Hillary Clinton since 2000.
NYPD chief commits suicide 1 month before retiring, was directly involved in Anthony Weiner laptop computer evidence handling. A high-ranking New York City Police Department officer has died from an alleged self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. Deputy Chief Stephen Silks was found in an unmarked patrol car wearing civilian clothes Wednesday evening, just 1 month before he would turn 63 and face mandatory retirement. He allegedly shot himself in the head, with the gun reportedly discovered beside him. He was very closely and heavily involved in the investigation of the laptop seized from the former Congressman Anthony Weiner, which allegedly held volumes of Hillary Clinton email evidence on it. A fellow officer told the New York Daily News that Silks was deeply committed to the job. Silks reportedly submitted his mandatory retirement paperwork the day before. Other sources, however, say that the deputy chief was heavily involved in the sex crimes investigations of former Democrat Congressman Anthony Weiner and that the chief personally oversaw the evidence gathering from a laptop computer seized from Weiner in that investigation. The laptop is alleged to have contained numerous emails from Hillary Clinton during her time as Secretary of State and numerous files in a folder titled Insurance Policy, which reportedly contained extraordinary details about child sex rings operated by and for use of high-ranking government officials nationwide. Ultimately, that laptop had to be turned over by NYPD to the FBI, who allegedly lost it. Rumors have circled for years that NYPD top brass took copies of the hard drive because they were suspicious of the feds in general and wanted to make certain that the evidence was preserved. One high-ranking NYPD official at the time the laptop was seized told media outlets he was sickened by what he saw on that computer, and if the feds did not pursue the necessary investigations, he would reveal what the laptop contained. It is now believed that Deputy Chief Silks was that official. No one is confirming or denying that information at this time. So, Deputy Chief Silks was one of the now 10 officers, and he allegedly was the one who oversaw the information on the Anthony Weiner laptop and made copies. Who else made copies? And who else has the information? Was it suicide? Probably not.
So one of the things, if I were the president, I'd do is demand the Anthony Weiner laptop and get it to the most trusted person in the military to take apart everything on it and then start using it. There's a lot that can be prosecuted. I have no doubt on that laptop.
Anthony Weiner's laptop were ever released, the government would fall. Weiner's laptop had kill switches in it. It was filled with crap that wasn't supposed to be there. We never get to see it. Supposedly 9 cops watched the videos on Weiner's laptop. They had to keep leaving the room because they couldn't stand what they were seeing. And all 9 are now dead. And there's names and faces and deadness, right? They're real people. Now you can say, well, maybe they died for other reasons. I go, but it's still 9 cops. You know, it's like the 5 cops who died after January 6th, right? 4 of them were suicides. According to AI, there were about 80 cops really in the thick of things. 4 of them died from suicide.